Kia ora. With your time at the voting booth coming up, we're looking at 3 things that are required of the people if their democracy is to survive. And they are that the people must be moral, informed and involved. Today let's consider the 3rd idea, that we must be involved. The whole idea of having an election is that we want those in power to be from the people, for the people. This is in contrast to what we don't want, which is what the rest of history has had, in which the wealthy elite place themselves in power over us and they rule us, potentially for their own benefit. So the idea of democracy is about trying to protect the rights, freedoms and interests of the common people. However, the reality is that all systems will become corrupted with time, including our own, because human beings are naturally selfish. Politicians once in power sometimes neglect to represent the will of the people, instead doing what they want to themselves. And we're sadly seeing more of this in our own nation as time goes on. It's in this context that people sometimes joke that we only have a democracy one day every 3 years. Because beyond that one day of the election, it seems that the politicians just do what they want. If this is true, the only way to fix it is to become involved. And I want to suggest 3 ways that we can do this. Firstly, on that one day that as a nation we definitely are democratic, we must go and place our vote. This is important because every vote does count. That's how an election works, revealing the collective will of the people. Secondly, we must remember to stay in touch with our elected politicians once they are in power, because public feedback can affect how they think, feel and then vote. And thirdly, as Christians, we must pray. Remember that nearly all governments in history have been dictatorships of one sort or another. It waited in history for Christianity to radically change that through its values. These Christian values are what gave our society its prosperity, freedom, charity and equality. This is to say, history tells us that positive change is possible. The story isn't written yet. So don't give up or fail to vote. The future of our nation is still in our hands. And for as long as we hold faith and stay involved, anything remains possible. Let's remember this as we go to each place our vote.
For more election 2023 content, visit shinetv.co.nz and altogether.co.nz.